Welcome back, citizens, to the second to last day of Invictus 2953. We've been covering this thing for 11 days. That seems crazy to me. All right, let's see if all the Warbonds are back or if we have new ones. Or both. Click in here. I'm going to sort from highest to lowest real quick. Okay, so the A2 is back, which is cool. What else do we have here? The Caterpillar. Is that new? I think that's new. That's a new one. Okay, awesome. The Eclipse, that's a returner. Fantastic. The MSR is back. The Corsair, okay, so repeats. The Scorpius, that's new. Right on. What else? The Hurricane, also new. Fantastic. Holy crap. Okay, the Vulture's still there. Awesome. The Ballista, that's a repeat. The Nova's back. The Gladius, holy wow. Okay, that's awesome. That's a good one. I'm pretty sure that's going to fit into a lot of chains. Let's see here. What else? What else? The Storm is available, but no Warbond, of course. And it looks like that's it. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Okay. Well, that's still cool. There's a couple new ones in there. Awesome. Okay, so let's go over each of the Warbond CCUs in the store right now and see what options are available for each of them. Let's start with the A2 here. Click that. Do this. All right, so if for some reason you want to upgrade from the Merchantman to the A2, first off, I think that's probably a bad idea because they're gonna be a similar price in the future. The Merchantman's almost guaranteed to increase in price upon its release, or when they start working on it again, and then again at release. So my guess is eventually it'll be around $890 pricing. We'll see. The Carrack Expedition Pack with the C8X. Obviously, these are very different ships, but if you're using it for a chain and you want the A2 at the end game, that's one way to go, I suppose. Let's see, let's do this. A2. If you're trying to upgrade the A2 to something else, well, that's going to be a problem, I think. Because almost everything is available right now, except maybe some alien ships, and nothing's higher priced here that can fit. So you can't really upgrade from the A2 to anything. So if you're using it in a chain to get somewhere, you might be a SOL. So hopefully the A2 is the last piece of your chain, and that's where you're going to end up. Let's look. What's the next one? We had the Caterpillar, I think. Yep, there we go. So there's the cat. Interesting. The Sith, I would not recommend. It's just not available often enough to use it in a chain. The Starfarer is fine. The Eclipse is obviously a good choice because, well, we had another one of those this week. And my guess is any of those that didn't show up today that we just went over real quick, they're probably going to show up tomorrow as repeats. And that also means that either A, the new ones today will stay for tomorrow, or we'll get a new set tomorrow as well. So we'll see. Tomorrow might be really interesting because that'll be the final day of Invictus. So, but yeah, I think the Eclipse makes a good choice here. If you happen to have one of these, maybe a Vanguard Harbinger, maybe the Bomber or Sentinel, this is getting a very different price point than the $300 or even $290 of the Harbinger. So I wouldn't recommend making this jump because you might be able to, you'll probably find some additional value by coming in here and doing one of these instead of jumping straight from a Sentinel, for instance. So I'd pick obviously the Eclipse if you're using it to get to the Caterpillar, if it's the last one, or if you're going to upgrade the Caterpillar to something else. There's plenty of ships that are higher priced than the Caterpillar, so you can use this in a chain for something higher. I'll just show you here. Where's the cat? There's the cat. I mean, there's a boatload of ships here that are higher priced than it. From the Gemini, the Crucible, all these other ships here. Plenty of options for the cat, especially in a chain. All right, so what's next? A2 cat. Oh, the Eclipse. I think we went over that this week already, but you've got quite a few choices. I particularly like the Blade because I forget where it is. Let me see here. I think I have it in a spreadsheet because I'm a nerd. Hold on a second. Where is... Okay, I don't have the spreadsheet up, so I won't bother you with that. But the gist is, if you get the blade through... if you get the blade through referral reward, well, it's a $275 ship for free, and you can upgrade it to this. So you basically be out, what, $5 to get to the Eclipse bomber, and then maybe use it for the rest of your chain. So I particularly like that one, but you have to be able to get the blade itself, and that's at the level of, where is that level? Let me see here at the ranking ladder. See if I can pop this over here real quick. So if anybody has not looked at this, this is the recruitment rewards ladder, and one gets you all this stuff, and then as you go up the ladder, of course, and get more referrals, you get different ships. Down here is the blade at 100, so you have to get 100 referrals to get the blade. It's tough referring people right now. I've got a bit of a conscience about that at the current point, because, well, everybody knows where the development cycle is, and not everybody is equipped to jump into a game in the alpha cycle. So I've not really been recruiting very heavily. So I mean, that's up to you guys. If you want to do that and you're cool with it, and you find people that are really ready, willing, and able to jump into a game that's fully in alpha, and you can climb this ladder, then I would target that blade and go for it. Otherwise, it's kind of tough to get to the blade. That's a long chain. So keep that one in mind. Otherwise, I mean, you've got the Sentinel. That's come on Warbond a couple times in the recent past. I think it was maybe last year's Invictus, maybe IAE as well. I can't remember, but at least once in the past couple of years, it's been on Warbond itself. The Retaliator Bomber is a good choice because it's available quite often as well. I would say no to something like the Medevac, because it's gonna, instead of being a $5 purchase for a savings of $25, or savings of 20, sorry, it'll end up being something like a $5 purchase for $0 savings, or maybe even a negative savings. This might go to like $3.10 or something. I can see that happening when it gets released, especially considering they're working on it now, which means after Invictus, this might actually see a price rise. So keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on it for you. I'll let you guys know if it increases in price. Okay, what's next? After the Eclipse, we've got... What was that? That was the Eclipse. Okay, so the MSR is back. I think we talked about this one as well. Cuddy Steel and the Hoplite, both equal choices. I actually thought the Steel was going to hit the Warbond this Invictus, but I guess not. I was wrong. We also have the 35, 20. Yeah, we're getting too big of a gap here. I was going to say maybe the Scorpius, but it looks like the Antares is the only one that's close. The Scorpius is what, like, is that like 215 or something? Where the heck's the Scorpius? It can't be that cheap. Where's the Scorpius? Okay, I'm going to do it the easy way. How is the Scorpius not over here? Oh, is it more? How's... Hold on, I'm confused. Okay, the Scorpius is 240. Interesting. All right, I did not know that. I didn't pay attention to it. It's a cool X-Wing. It's just not my cup of tea, guys. Sorry, I don't know the price of all the ships. So yeah, the MSR does have a few choices here. Hoplite Steel are good choices. Antares. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. It's pretty new. It may not go on Warbond. The Raylin, again, you could speculate this one, but like you'd be spending $15 and you'd probably lose 10 of that savings, because the Raylin's probably going to be a $250, $260 ship anyway. You might just eat up your savings by buying this type of an upgrade. So I would recommend against anything that's a concept, unless it's like a huge gap. Like if you're going from, let's see, the Raylin, you could speculate the Raylin at like at least 260. Let's say it's 260. So you could spec for that. Actually do this way. Yeah, that's a bad one. That's a bad one. If you're specking at 260, you're looking at something like the Vanguard Warden. But you would wait. Like you would buy an upgrade to the Raylan today. So you'd put the Raylan over on this side, buy the Raylan, whatever the upgrade is to that. And then you would, if you're heading for something like the Vanguard, Warden, or the Mercury, or anything above it really in this range, a Sentinel, Medevac even, that might actually be one to think about. If the Raylan comes out before the Medevac, buying a Raylan to Medevac concept, interesting. If that was available at the time, that would be cool. Anyway, where was I? Let's get back to it. Okay, so that was the MSR. Yeah, Hoplite or Steel, those are good choices because it's $5 for a really decent amount of savings, right? That'd be $20 for 5. That's a good discount. All right, let's get back to the list. The Corsair, went over that the other day. Again, Raylan's a bad choice. Really, Terrapin Defender. I would not do any of the concepts here, which is the Raylan and the Sandtalk. You could go to the Hurricane. Again, especially, didn't the Hurricane have a new edition today? We'll probably see that one next. It's pretty close. So that might work out for you. Let's go to that now, actually. Eclipse, MSR, Corsair. Oh, the Scorpius. Okay, so the Scorpius has one as well. This is new. We have not gone over this one. So yeah, Scorpius to Hurricane. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? You'd save... Oh, wow, okay, so it's 10 and then you save 20. That's good. That's the one that really makes the most sense. Again, Vulcan's a concept. I would not recommend that one. Heartseeker's a bit of a gap. Even the Taurus is a bigger gap, so I think Hurricane's kind of a no-brainer on this one. Okay, so after Hurricane, we've got, after the Scorpius, we have the Hurricane. Okay, so from here, I'm trying to think, do I have a Taurus? So just so you guys know, every time I take a gap here, I'm looking at this massive spreadsheet that I have of all my Warbonds that I've purchased, just to see if I've got anything that it could jump to. So I'm doing quick searches over here. Oops, just messed that one up. Find. So I've got like a Freelancer to miss, but it looks like I'm using that one in my Defender. Taurus to Cuddy Blue, so that's the opposite direction. Taurus to Defender. Looks like I got 2 of those. Okay, so no, I don't really have anything that this can jump to. I have a Taurus to Defender. That's actually a better discount than this. That's good. So yeah, I mean, Saber Comet, the Super Hornet, Freelancer Mist, these are all, I mean, you're losing money every time you go down this row in the chain. And the Taurus is available often enough that I would say this is probably the best bet if you're going from the Hurricane, or going to the Hurricane in a Warbond. That's my recommendation anyway. All right, rolling down the list past the Scorpius and Hurricane to, well, the Vulture. Actually, I don't think I've talked about the options here for the Vulture. Prospector's a no-brainer because it's right there at 155 and it's almost always available. I don't know that it's ever going to go on Warbond though. It just seems like one of those ships that's going to get looked over, like the Cuddy Black. Maybe because of the price point, maybe because they're selling enough of them. I just don't know. Freelancer Max comes on Warbond from time to time. I've seen it. Retaliator, remember, this lower price Retaliator is still in technically a concept phase, which doesn't make a lot of sense. This is like the gunship version. It's not going to have the bombs. It's going to have more gun turrets, I assume, and probably more pilot-operated firepower. Very different ship. But if you're using it in a chain, it's going to be a speculative one. You wouldn't want to jump from here to here because, I mean, this could be a $200 ship by the time they get done with it, honestly. So it would be speculative, and you probably wouldn't want to use it to the Vulture, is my point. So I would not recommend that one. But either of these are probably fine. The Prospector's better, but it's less of a chance to get on the Warbond list. I have this weird feeling that eventually here they're going to have like a big hullabaloo about like racing, and all the race ships are going to go on Warbond for some event. I don't know why I keep thinking that. It's maybe wishful thinking because I think the only one I've seen on Warbond was like the maybe the M50 or something. So anyway, I keep hoping that, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. So yes, recommending the Prospector for this one. Alternatively, Freelancer Max, I think that one has a higher option of getting on there as well. But the rest of these, again, bigger gap and less likely to go on sale, on a Warbond sale anyway. Maybe the Mantis isn't too bad, but it's 10 versus $5 spend. So that's up to you. If you want to spend 10 to try and save more in the future, that's up to you. But any of these things that are concepts, I would not recommend. Again, no recommendo. All right, what's after the Vulture? I think that's the Gladius, right? Oh no, the Ballista. Almost forgot the Ballista. Okay, so 350R. I actually have something to a 350R, but I think I'm using it. Nope, I'm wrong. I got a 350R to something else. That was the old $0 freebie I had. I mean, it's not a bad choice. That goes into that whole racing thing I was talking about. The Ghost will probably go on concept at some point in Invictus, in some Invictus launch thing. We'll see. The Raft. Well, we know the Nova. What's that? It's an extra $5. Spend 10, save some. That's not bad, especially because it's already in the chain. Yeah, I'd probably recommend that one. Nova the Ballista. That's not bad. Yeah, that's the one I'd recommend for the Ballista. All right, going through here. Did I skip it? Oh, there's the Vulture. Gladiator is not back yet. My guess is that's going to pop tomorrow. We'll see. Oh, the Nova. I think we covered the Nova, though. I'll go through that real quick. M50, there's that race thing again. Cuddy Black. I don't know, man. Maybe one day it'll go on Warbond. We'll see. Hawk. I don't know. Out of all these choices, I mean, this one, I don't know that this best in show, this random ass best of show, because they have best of show every year, right? I don't see this ever going on Warbond. It's available often, but I don't see it ever going on Warbond. It just seems like one of those weirdo ships. This is the same price as the other one. I don't know. But here's the thing. Cuddy Black's always available. It's always for sale. So you could just do that, spend the 10, save 10, and call it a day. Or you could try and guess at which one of these $100 ships may actually go on Warbond in the future. Boy, I don't know. I don't know that the Hawk's ever been on Warbond, so maybe that's a good one. I know the M50 has been. I think the Cuddy Black has been, but it was a really long time ago. And I don't see this one ever coming up for some reason. It just doesn't seem likely. Oh, but there's the Gladius. Ooh, that's an interesting one because it's you spend 20. Spend 20 but only save 10. Nah. I'm gonna hit the Cuddy Black. Let's go for that one. That's gonna be my recommendation. Do the Cuddy Black to Nova. Because then we've got, I'm gonna actually flip this around. Gladius is the lowest priced one, maybe. Yeah, Gladius is the lowest priced one we have today. Okay, cool. So from here then, yeah. Okay, so from here we've got the Tana, the Titan Renegade, and the Arrow. We got a lot of choices here in the $75 mark. I have, oh no, it's a Cyclone MT to a Warlock. Oh no, yeah, I got a 300i. I have a 300i to Cyclone MT. I think I am using it. I'm using that in my Defender chain. Okay. So if you have, I think it was an IAE, but it was a Cyclone. That's military. So that might have been last year's Invictus. If you have one of these Cyclone MT CCU Warbonds from last year's Invictus, this might make sense to you. This might fit perfectly into your chain. So yeah, I'd say if you have that one, go ahead. If you don't want to speculate, you can grab the Arrow because it's always available and you can always upgrade to it from something else. even if it's not a Warbond. If you have to do like a $5 or $10 or something or other gap fill, that's a good choice. Tana and Renegade, I don't know if those don't seem like they're going to go on sale often. I think the base level Reliant has never been. I don't know if it's ever been. So I don't know if any of the Reliants have been. Now that I think about it, I'm looking through my list, and I've got a freebie Reliant to Mustang Delta, but it's like a $0. It's an actual cross chassis non-upgrade because it's $0 for the same price ship. Anyway, yeah, that's, I don't know. This is a tough one. You're going to have to make the call on your own for this one. There's lots of good choices though. All right, so that's it for the CCUs. Wow, cool. That was a good list today. That's awesome. Okay, so just for kicks, let's see what other Warbonds are available. First, I'm going to go through the starter packs, then the other packs that they offer, and then the standalone ships, just to be sure that we're not missing out on anything. What's funny is, the reality is I didn't even know about the separate pack section until like 2020. I'd been buying CCUs since like 2016, and I didn't even know about it till then. So I'm bringing it up just because some people might not be aware of it as well. It is a way to, you know, save some cash, even though it's not the best way to do it, in my opinion, if you're really trying to save money. But hey, it's an option, so I'm going to cover it. Okay, so for starter packs, it looks like just the Pisces and the Avenger have a Warbond discount. It is a decent discount too. You get the game and a package and a paint basically thrown in for a discount. Not bad. Let's go to the pack section now. Okay, so the same two packs that we talked about previously, the Rover Duo pack and the Fury Twin pack, those are still available. The Squad pack and the Formation pack, the Insane packs for lots of monies. All of these, think about it this way. Somebody actually brought this up in one of the comment threads. You could buy this because each one of them is going to be a Warbond LTI Fury starting at $55 in value. So, I mean, technically each one of them could be an LTI token if that's the way you wanted to do it. When you can upgrade them individually, you just can't separate them from the pack. You couldn't donate one to a friend or something. You'd have to keep them all. You can't separate them out that way, but you can upgrade them individually. Last I heard anyway. I mean, I hope that hasn't changed because that would be giving you terrible advice and information. So as an FYI, if that's what you're doing, buying a bunch of tokens, that's a decent way to do it because it's all at technically a discount. So there you go. And then here's the ultimate insane pack, the Tumbril Complete pack. Look at this thing. You've got a Cyclone, all of the Cyclones that are available, all the Rangers, all three Rangers would be in this pack. The Storm, the Nova, and everything's got LTI. So I don't know, man. If you're really into the ground-based operations and racing, and I mean, there's 4, right? There's 4. Am I doing that right? Math. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3 Rangers and a Storm. So those are all concepts. So technically it's all a discount. If you really love ground-based stuff, this might be an option for you. So there you go. What else? The standalones. Okay, let me do a quick refresh too, just to be sure I didn't miss anything. All right. The Ranger is a concept available, so that's cool. You can buy CCUs to and from this right now. If that fits your chain, remember you can speculate on this one. So if you did like MPUV cargo or something to a Ranger for $5 right now, with store credit, mind you, this Ranger might go to 45 or even 55 bucks in the future. So that would be a speculative CCU that you could do instead of just buying the Ranger outright. I don't think this has LTI. Nope, just 10 years. Man, that'll get me way past my retirement. Let's go down the list a little bit further. I'm trying to scroll a little smoother for you guys. There's the Furies, of course, in Warbond form. Again, those are an LTI token. If you guys care about LTI, those are not terrible choices. I prefer the Warbond rewards because I really work hard to plan out my CCU chains, so I don't ever plan on melting them. Even when I screw up, like when I chained into the Ion. So sad. Okay, the links. $55 token, or I mean, maybe if you like the ground-based version of a luxury liner that can go anywhere, links might not be bad for you. So another concept, the Origin, same thing as the Ranger. You can CCU and speculate to this thing in the hopes that it goes to like 75 or something. There's a Warbond and concept for the Storm. You don't see that very often, where you have a Warbond and a concept in the same purchase. Basically, it's new money at a discount because it's a concept, and another $5 discount, $10 discount from the normal concept pricing. So this is as cheap as you will ever get it, unless you do a CCU chain to the Storm. And I'm guessing well, of course, it's Warbond, so it comes with LTI. All right, there's a concept version of the Storm, $10 more, no LTI. Down the list. Oh, the Legionnaire, of course, is concept that's available. SRV. I'm interested in this ship. I might build a chain to that one. I like all the industrial stuff. I like mining. I'm enjoying salvage from what little I've played of it. I might end up getting an SRV because it just seems cool. And I mean, let's face it, you're going to be able to use it in piracy, or legal stopping of illegal vessels in zones where there's no, UEE authority. Just gonna let that simmer for a minute. There's the A1 Spirit. Wait, did the C1? Was the C1 not available? Man, they just didn't even make it available, did they? Okay, whatever. C2 is available, but the C1 is not. I still don't get that. Okay, just to remind everybody, this is the bomber version of the C1. The C1 is in the giveaway. I think it's a really cool looking ship. It reminds me of the Normandy from Mass Effect series, only much smaller, much more compact form. Obviously, it's not going to have 2 or 3 levels in it. I think it's going to be quick. I think it's not going to have a lot of punch. It's going to be like the MSR, only a quicker, more compact package with a smaller payload. Well, smaller payload than the A2. I guess it should clarify that. But the C1, I think, is going to be really quick. It's going to be competing with the Cuddy Black, right? So it's going to be a transport ship, a cargo hauler, but it's going to be much quicker. I'm hoping stealth comes back into the game because that would make that ship even better. All right, rolling down, we got another concept that's still available. In the Vulcan, the refueling ship. Then we've got both the Apollo Triage and the Medevac. There's a Medevac. I know there's more concepts. Oh, this one. I forgot to cover the limited stock stuff this year for Invictus. I apologize. If there's any limited stock that comes up for Alien Week, I will be sure to include that in the videos for Alien Week. And definitely for IAE, I got to make it a point to cover that stuff. I know they're not discounts in the way we all look at CCU chains, but if somebody's really looking into those limited ships, they're going to want to know those dates that they're available. And that's the only way you can get them. Like the things like the Pioneer, right? Which I still question why that's a consolidated Outland ship, but that's one ship that eventually I may pull the trigger on if I, win the lottery or something. Or hey, I mean, when I retire, maybe I can sell the gold watch they give me and get me a Pioneer. So yeah, that's the only way to get them because they're stock limited. And if they're available, I will make sure I cover them in the next couple of videos that make sense to do so. Crucible here, another standalone ship, but it's a concept pricing. The Liberator, the Perseus, and eventually down here, the Polaris. Oh, and the Nautilus. I forgot about the Nautilus. I'm still unsure how this gameplay is going to come about because looking at the scale of this game, like just I'm sure you've all been to Area 18 and been to the port above Area 18, and just making that travel, you can do it in a Fury, right? I know probably plenty of you tried to do that trick. Because you can actually see it from when you're taking off. You can see it up in the sky. And just thinking about the vast amount of area that you'd have to cover in mines, and unless they're like automated drones that sense, friend foe, and like lock on or something like that, or start shooting missiles or blasting, I don't know, man. Like it's just such a vast area of space that you'd have to cover. You can only do it in like main supply lanes or something, and then smuggling would I guess get really cool. But I can't imagine the amount of time it would take somebody if you had to do it manually, just popping a mine out the back in some sort of grid. They got to have some sort of automation with it. But that's why this one is going to come out probably when I go into retirement, but not after. Right as I'm going into retirement, this sucker will be available for you guys to actually play. All right, I think that's it. We reached the bottom of the list. I think I've covered every single possible discount today. My guess is tomorrow we're going to have some return and maybe another 1 or 2 new ones like we had today. So stay tuned and I'll cover it again tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Wow, we covered a lot today. Head to the comments if you have any additional CCU questions. Have a good one.